And we are rolling. Good afternoon. It is Sunday, June 19th. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And my name is Sean. And this is the backyard view of my condo. And there's my plant that is still growing. Been neglecting a little bit, but it's still growing nonetheless. This potato plant, a red potato, so it's still growing. Although I just repotted it about a week ago or so. I may be needing to upgrade. It kind of looks like this. I tried standing it, but it keeps kind of going down a little. I have to get to stand up for me. Anywho, that's my potato plant. My trough, I think I'm going to start working on that probably early January. Or not January, oh my gosh, July. We're in the summertime, it's July. So it is Sunday, June 19, approximate time, I don't know, afternoon. It's been a couple weeks since I last reported in. Got a lot of stuff going on, but I won't bore you with that. So this is my compost, and this is what it looks like. It looks like there's some growth going on, which of course you don't want. So you see I got a little bit of flowering in there. I'm just curious what that is. I don't know what that is. But anyway, there's another little thing that was flowering. The only thing I can think of that it could be is probably one of the red potatoes I cut up and put in here. There's some eggs. It looks like it's starting to break down a little bit, but not as quickly as I'd like. Perhaps I need to leave this open more. I thought by neglecting it a little bit, we'll give it a chance to break down, but the corn, which is what this is, corn husk is still in here, so it's not breaking down as quickly as I thought. And here is my little makeshift compost that I have. Well, it's not really compost, but I store my cut up veggies, so I'm going to dump these in. Pause a moment. And we're back. So, our little clippies came from a bowl. Remember, you can just, for your composting, you don't have to have a big bin like this in your kitchen. It could just be a bowl, throw it in there. And then when you're ready to transfer it out to your larger compost, you can do that. This is lemons that I cut up. I cut in half. Now, usually I try to dice it up into smaller pieces, but I want to see by putting it in how quickly it will break down. These, of course, are eggshells from boiled eggs. Mike made double eggs last night, so he left those for me to throw in here. He's getting pretty good about that, by the way, because usually he just throws it out. I'm like, hey, you're supposed to save that. What the hell? But he didn't. He saved it for me. So, good husband. And these are from cilantro parts that I saved the stems and I just threw them in. More lemons. This is from a red pepper. And this is the tip from the red pepper. So I'll mix these in. And what I'm going to do is stir all the way to the bottom. As it says, you're supposed to rotate this. Again, I've been very lazy. I see an old lime in there. So I'm going to leave that in there. I'm just going to pile the dirt on top. Like so. There's an onion also that's room, which is just basically a yellow onion. Shove that down to the bottom. It's been hot as hell in the Tampa Bay area. Not a surprise for this time of year, but it's also been a reason why I've been a little neglectful to come on and talk about the garden things. And for the few of you that have kind of followed this, thank you. I hope that you are finding it useful and that you, at some point when you feel you have the time, you'll start your own compost garden or compost thing. It's not really a garden, but it's if you're wanting to use an alternative to have your own moist, compost for your garden, this is a good way to do it. Or if you've already gotten a garden started, you can basically take like your little vegetables like this, break it down and into little bits of pieces, and you can just basically stick it into the earth. That's another way to go. Same thing with the eggshells. Just take, the eggshells, if you're not ready to start a compost, just take shells, break it down as much as you can, put it in a food processor or like a food grinder. Take it and mix it into your soil. Try and stick it in at the very bottom of your soil. And just keep doing that. You want to irrigate it. Depending on the size of your pot, you can irrigate it by just basically poking holes with it, or if you have, I like to call this a claw. At some point I'll think to look up what this is actually called, but basically you can use this to irrigate and to get into there to get some air and mixture to your garden. Or not to your garden, but to your compost. But if you're using a pot, then quite simply you're just going to, if you have a flower pot, or if you have a garden already and you aren't ready to start a compost, then just add your kitchen clippings, like your green green onions or what have you. Dice them up into tiny little pieces, and then mix them, like I said, mix it into the soil. And usually after a couple of weeks or so, it'll start to break down. You're going to still see shells, little bits of shells in it. So, just keep at it. It's a simple way to go. It's where I started doing that with my plants, but then what I found is that I had a bowl of this that I kept saving on the side, and the bowl just kept getting fuller and fuller, and then it's like after a while I didn't have anywhere to put it, to put the clippings, and of course you get those little bugs that show up, and that's kind of annoying and kind of gross. And because I don't like bugs, I just decided, hey, I'm going to come out here and get my compost started again, and that's how I started. And it was very simple. I didn't have to buy anything crazy. Like I said, I just bought this, which is just an ordinary Tupperware storage bin, which you can get at Dollar General, Target, Walgreens, whatever. Probably about $10, if less, if you're creative and wait for a sale. And then all you're doing is getting some soil, Again, you can buy the same soil at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Target. Don't get anything fancy, not the not the not the name brand stuff, but really just a cheap bag of soil. Get a couple bags. And so that way you could just throw the soil in here, and then after that you just throw your clippings in, and then you just start adding your veggies that you clip up, or your eggs that you throw in. Some people use like meat. They'll throw it in, like if you have the fatty part of the meat, you can throw in. It's totally your call. I haven't, just because I don't know how that breaks down or how quickly that breaks down, but I'm trying to break the slime in half, which isn't working. But it's basically your call. Like I said, some people actually use newspaper, which you can do, although from what I read in the past, you want to just basically use black and white newspaper. You don't want to use colored paper. It has something to do with the way it doesn't break down as well. You can also use brown paper bag. Same thing. Brown paper bag. You want to shred it as much as you can and throw it in and mix it in. What I do with my garden or my compost is I basically put it, like I said, I put it inside. This is the lid for it, and the lid just goes on. Now you can poke holes through it that will allow air to circulate through it. However, when I tried that in the past, which would have been a couple years ago, I ended up getting worms in here. Now if you want worms, cool. My husband Michael, who was not in the office at the time, but he said actually it's a good way because the worms break it down faster and you have big juicy worms or whatever that show up. But I couldn't sign off on that. So hey, if you're bold enough to try it, good for you. Let me know how it works out. But I am not going to go that route. As you probably guessed by now, or if you watched the other video, I'm a bit squeamish. So I do not want to have to deal with bugs or worms as it is. So, excuse me, this is going to be all I'm going to do with this for now. I'll probably revisit this probably at the end of the week or start of the following week. So it'll probably be June 2026. I'll come back and take a look and see how it's doing. In the meantime, hopefully you'll give it a try, and please leave some comments if you feel like it, to let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me questions and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. And if I can't, I'll research it and get an answer for you and then hit you back. So this is all for now. I hope that you're finding this video helpful on beginning your urban mini compost. And good luck and enjoy your day. Bye for now.